This is Tom Rust for TRSB Sports. Today, delighted to be joined by Ben Dridge. How you doing, mate?
I'm very well, mate. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you, mate. We last had you on the channel in December. You were sat in Mexico in the sun with a
Yeah.
swimming pool behind you, and now
Yeah.
this time you sat in your car in sunny England.
Yeah. Yeah. How times change.
Yeah. How's
Yeah,
life,
it's
mate?
totally different.
How you been?
Yeah, yeah, all good. Yeah, a bit different. We had to come home just to sort a few things out before we go back away again. But yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, when we caught up in December, we spoke a lot about the reason why you went traveling and some of the
Yeah.
countries that you've been to. I think at the time, I think you said you've been to about 30 countries, 25 countries. So from December, where have you been, mate?
Since we last spoke, so I was in Mexico. From Mexico, we went to Florida, then to Ecuador, Um, and then we went to India, spent a month there, and then we spent a month in Nepal. So yeah, that's where we've been.
So your passport's been taken an absolute battering.
Yeah, it's just getting pretty full.
How's it been then? Because when we spoke, you said you was absolutely loving it. Now you've been doing it a little while. Is it still as exciting as it was to start
Yeah,
with?
yeah. I think it's even more exciting. It's just because now, obviously, the COVID restrictions are starting to go away. Things are getting easier, and things are opening up. So there's just so many. I mean, next year I want to explore Asia, and I want to try and make our way to Australia and spend some time there. And it's exciting. Definitely, the future is definitely exciting.
Yeah, looking at your recent videos that you've been putting out on YouTube. For anyone watching
Yeah,
this, go and subscribe to your channel. Brilliant channel. Some of the places
thank
that
you.
you
Yeah,
go and you show us. So I think I said before, I'd have never even thought about some of these places, but you visit some beautiful places in the world. One place that stood out to me was India. Like culturally, it looked really different. Just the
yeah,
price of things, the transport. Just tell us a little bit about India and some of the things that you experienced.
yeah. So, like our plan, because at the moment you can only get 1 month visa. So our plan was to spend. So we flew into a place called Kerala, which is down south. And then we was just going to get the train and then fly out of New Delhi, which is 3,000 miles. So it's a long, long way away. But we had a month to do it. So we just went all the way along the west coast, Goa, Mumbai. We've done everything, and then eventually got to New Delhi and flew out of there. But honestly, if you ever get a chance to go to India, it's the most fantastic place. Like the people are like beautiful people. The food's out of this world. It's just the most amazing place, and I'm looking forward to going back there as well.
And what about, they say, in India, there's a lot of people with money. There's, a large population that don't have a lot. Did you see much of that? I saw you as, you obviously you visited a lot of places and you walked through
Yeah,
some places where you were just getting hounded. People trying to sell you things, probably asking for money. What was that like?
yeah, yeah. There's a big division between the rich and the poor in India. I mean, the poor are, I think they're the worst I've seen. Like you've got kids begging because they're hungry and stuff. Like we don't really realize in a country like in the West where we live, you don't realize the scale of the poverty in them sort of countries, and it's sad to see. Like you think like kids are here, kids here, they may moan and stuff that they're hungry, but they don't even realize like people starve, and you see people on the streets with like no legs and old people and like people that you would never expect. But it's poverty's bad, mate.
And does it almost sort of like put life into perspective when you're going around? Because I suppose you're learning all the time as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, since we've been traveling, I've seen things that my eyes have been opened to. Like I think we live we live in a bubble, don't we? And it's not until you see it with your own eyes and you start to think like how lucky we are. Like I was saying to Rian yesterday, like about because of boxing, like I'll get like breathing problems, and I started speaking to my doctor about getting my nose done like, on the NHS, like, and yeah, they're like gonna put me forward for it, but it's like we're so lucky we live in a country where I can get. Obviously, it's to do with breathing, but it's a cosmetic procedure on the NHS. Like, whereas, people in these countries they can't even eat, And we are lucky because just because I'm born here, I've got that privilege. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's almost like, we pick up the phone and we dial 999, ambulance, fire engine,
Yeah.
police. It's going to be here in a few minutes, generally speaking. But it sounds like some places, you've been to, I don't know, do they even have mobile phones? And what's it like in terms of, the technology? Is it almost like going back in time?
Some places like I don't know if you've seen our video. We actually went into the slums.
I did.
And
That's
it was like,
yeah.
Obviously you got people like they're all huddled around fires and it is like going back in time. But then you walk a mile down the road and you've got skyscrapers, so it's not so, and you've got Starbucks and things like that. So it's just division between the rich and the poor, like big.
It's almost like when you think of Vegas, one of the most iconic places in the world, but only a mile down the road, there's people sleeping in the drains and things like that. Mate, when I was watching your video when you was there, I was just imagine being there, and it looked quite intimidating and quite scary. You had a lot of people around you. I don't think there's obviously not as many people traveling at the moment. So did you almost like sort of stick out like a sore thumb?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Obviously, when you're a white person traveling around these areas, they're like, as soon as they see, like white skin, they're like, they think money straight away. So it's like, yeah, we got like, you see on the video, we got like loads of people coming up to us, and there's a thought in your head. You think we could easily come unstuck here.
Yeah.
But you've just sort of like I'm pretty cool with it all, but like, yeah, it is a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, you do seem quite cool. If it was me, I'd probably running up the road. But you're quite cool. And since you've been to India as well, I don't know whether it's just because of that or just a combination of your videos, but it really seems like your YouTube channel's picked up. And just while we're talking about where can people find you on YouTube?
It's on tour with the Dridgers. They can find us. You just obviously our profile picture is us in front of the Taj Mahal. Just look for that and watch our videos. Since we've been to India, they are becoming more popular. With I think most of our viewers are from India now.
I saw it growing, and you was putting out videos, and a lot of them were getting thousands of views, one after the other. How nice has that been for you to see as well? Because I imagine that on the road when you're traveling, it can't be easy to find places to actually put these videos together.
No, yeah, I think it's different. It's like it's become our like sort of, because we're traveling, we're not working. It's sort of become our full-time job, so it's not so. I mean, it's difficult sometimes to get good internet and stuff and them sort of things, but it's become our job. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, with even when we're just like walking around town, getting new experiences, that we're always thinking about the video.
Yeah.
Like when something happens, like if we didn't record it, we're then thinking, oh, we should record that for the video, because this is our, like, all we want to do is make good videos, and is a good place to be, really.
And I know when a lot of people start YouTube, the first big goal really is to get to that 1,000 subscribers. And you're there now. I think when we spoke in December, I think you know, roughly, I think it was around about 70, 80,000 views. You're well over 150,000 views. So
Yeah,
how pleasing is that for you?
yeah. I think it seems like since we've sort of gone traveling again, come out the set at the third time now, it seems like things have started kicking on a bit, and long may it continue.
Do you set goals for the channel? Like how many subscribers, you know, you want to be at by the end of the year, the end of the month? You know, do
Uh,
you think about it like that?
Sometimes, but I mean, we haven't actually written anything down, but we always look at a video, and we're like, oh, because our big thing was, oh, we want a video to hit 10K, and we've now got two videos about, well, I've got one about to hit 10K and another one's hit 10K. So it's like, you know, mate, I don't know. It's always goalposts always moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but but it must be nice. You know, you're putting in the effort. You know, you're putting the videos together. I can only imagine that some days you might not necessarily want to film everything, but you know, when you see those sort of numbers, it must be quite rewarding.
Yeah, it feels like you're starting to get a little bit for your efforts. You know.
100%. So, mate, in terms of the traveling, what's next? What can we expect to see on the YouTube channel over the next few months?
So right, we're back now. The reason we come home is because we're selling our house. Our house is sold, but we just need to come back to empty it. We've got a meeting with the mortgage advisor, so we've got about £120,000 in equity in the sale of the house. Our plan is to. It's difficult because obviously while we're traveling, we're not going to have an income. So we're trying to negotiate something to either get a buy to let or maybe buy, because here in Portsmouth you can get a like a studio apartment for maybe 90,000, 100,000. So we could probably buy somewhere outright and just travel with the rental income, but something like that. That's our next move, is to make things a little bit more. I'm not saying permanent, because we probably will come back eventually, but not so we're just like spending money all the time. So we've got an income.
That's quite a you know, a big decision to make. Was that quite a hard one to make? You know, selling your house so you can continue to travel.
It was we sort of spoke about it when we first left. We spoke about it, but it was a bit tongue in cheek. Like we were a bit like, look, like we're not going to do that, but this is what we could do. And then I think what we both had a discussion, like we've got to do this. We've got to sell a house. We've got to carry on traveling. Is the day we went to Guatemala and we slept next to an active volcano. Obviously, we watched it. We slept there, and then just watched it erupt all night. And it was like, okay, our life's going to change forever now. We can't go back to you can't watch something like that. You can't watch a volcano erupt in front of you and then go back to a normal job. This is our life. This is what we're going to do. So I think that's what it for us.
Do you feel like as well, if you know, I know you're back now, if you had to, you know, start looking for work, do you know, I know, you know, you struggle, you know, before with your mental health, you know, traveling for yourself, it just seems like it puts you in such a good place.
Yeah. I think to go from, I mean, everyone works in their life for freedom, don't they? And once you discover it, and once you get it, like being able to get up when you want and do what you want, I think everything, like mental health would definitely deteriorate if I was just went back to a normal thing. Like I'm not gonna say there's nothing more important than your mental health, is there? So I think as long as I can do it, I will do it. You know what I'm saying? And we're both in the same boat as well. It's not like one of us want to, one of us don't. We both just want to do it.
Yeah, no, of course. I think as well, you know, we spoke about it before. There might be some people that that are a bit on the fence. They may talk about it, but I think I said before, probably people have these conversations, but 90% of the people have the conversations and then don't do it, which is understandable. It's a big decision to make. So for people watching this that are considering traveling around the world, what advice would you give them? Because you've been doing it for a little while now, so you must have learned a lot along the way.
Yeah, I think obviously it was a big step for us as well. We was in the same boat as anyone that's thinking about it. But as soon as we done it, we was like, why didn't we do this sooner? It was like, so I think my advice would be like, if it's something that's possible and you really, really want to do it, just do what you can to do it. I know everyone's situation is different. So, I mean, some people got kids and some people got, like long-term jobs and stuff. So for us, it was like, we didn't really have anything. We had no ties. So it was like easier for us just to get up and do it. So, but my advice is like, do your best to do it, because it is so worth it. You would never regret it.
And today, where's the best place you've been in the world?
Best place I've been in the world. I mean, I would say India. I would say, but we are on the we done the Everest Base Camp trek in Nepal. The videos are just coming out, so if you go to the YouTube channel, you can watch it. But yeah, that also was like the most amazing thing. But yeah, India's my favorite place.
And for you as well, I know you've been to Florida, so arguably one of the most commercialized places on the planet.
Yeah, and I'm going for. Well.
yeah. You stopped in Florida, didn't you, before?
Yeah.
So you're going there, which is, everyone wants to go there. If you're a kid, Florida. But on the flip side to that, you've been to some places in the world that, I remember watching one video. I can't remember where you were, but it was like you just found this beach that it was almost like it had never been touched. So is it nice to go places where, it's not thousands of tourists?
Yeah, it's the best thing. That's the thing. The good thing about when we went to India is they've got a thing called an e-visa, and that was void at the time. So to go to India, we had to fly to Dubai, then go to the Indian embassy and get our visa there. And so there was no other tourists in India at the time. It was brilliant.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, so
it's crazy.
So far in India, then I'm sure you're going to go to some other amazing places from what you've said. And mate, we can't get you on this channel without talking about boxing. Do you get to see much of it when you're away, or is it more just a case of watching some highlights?
I'll watch as many big fights as I can, but probably not as much. If I was in England, I'd be watching boxing every week. But it's a bit different.
What do you make of the landscape at the moment? You've got Eddie Hearn, DAZN, Frank Warren doing his thing, got Boxer linking up with Sky. There does seem to be so much. I'm sure you probably might catch a bit more of it now you are back and you're not, traveling. What do you make of it all at the minute?
I like, because it seems like a bit more competition. It seems much better, and it does seem like fighters are fighting, and we're getting big fights, which is what we watch boxing for. So yeah, no, things are good.
And so far, we're coming towards the end of March now. This year's going so quick, flying by. What's been the best fight for you this year?
Best fight this year. I'm trying to think.
Like Khan, Brook, Taylor, Cattrall, James, Eubank.
I mean, it's difficult because Khan Brook I listened to on the radio. I didn't even watch it. I listened to the radio, and it did sound like a great fight. But obviously, I didn't watch it. So, I'd say. I mean, Khan Brook. Yeah, I'll just say that. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of boxing.
Yeah, it must be difficult, mate, when you're always on the go. Someone that you know very well, from Portsmouth, Michael Mckinson, fighting last weekend in America. Did you manage to see much of that, or you see much of it? No, any of the highlights of that one?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it. It's say it was a bit, it was a boring fight, but the I think Martin he fought it was a negative fighter, and it just didn't suit Mikey's style. Do you know what I mean? It was a Mikey was expecting an aggressive. Obviously, he was training for an aggressive fighter, and he got a negative fighter. So you're never going to look good and in that sort of thing. But Mikey got the job done, which is the main thing.
Yeah, of course. We actually just had him on before this interview of yourself, and I was saying to him, it must be tough though, because I think he knew about that opponent in like November, December. So when you've had your mind set on one person, one style for such a long time, and that's what you've trained for, to find out.
He was training.
Say that again.
He was training for a killer in Ortiz, and he got a negative fighter.
Yeah, and I just think to find out so late, so many things going on, not knowing if he was going to fight, like he's been offered all these different opponents. I said to him, mentally, it must have been quite challenging, understandably, if you're fighting someone completely different. Not surprising it wasn't an absolute tear up, but, went across the world, undefeated. He's come back undefeated.
Yeah. And of course, he's obviously made some new fans in America, put his name out there. So it's only looking up, isn't it? And I'm sure there's another big there from him as well.
Yeah, 100%, mate. He's gone over there, as you said, made fans, made some good money from what he's saying. Who would you like to see him fight next?
I'll watch the main event, and that Rocha looks like a good fight. Yeah, I'd like the Rocha. I feel like the Ortiz fight. I'd love to see that fight. So if they could possibly make that happen when he gets better. And then obviously the obvious fight, so like on a bet, hopefully like something like that at Fratton Park and all that. But maybe that's further down the line, But yeah, I'd like to see him fighting again. Maybe Rocha in America would be good.
And in terms of other fights, that are happening or might happen this year, what fights are you looking forward to seeing?
Obviously, White Fury. Very soon. I've just seen the news of Usyk looks like he's going to fight Joshua.
Oh, I've not seen that.
I'll be looking for. Yeah, Usyk's leaving Ukraine and looks like he's going to start training to fight Joshua. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but it feels like Joshua has been just out for so long. So a lot of sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't maybe not say uncertainty, but you just don't really know what's going on at the moment, obviously with Usyk. But as you said, looks like he's coming back. How do you see the rematch going?
Normally rematches go the same way, don't they? And Usyk's a class act, so I can't see past Usyk again, to be honest.
And in terms of Fury, White, huge fight. Wembley, how'd you see that one going?
Yeah, I been thinking a lot, because I was totally like, Fury can't lose to anyone. Fury's class and everything. But then I think what he's doing, where he's not turning up for press conferences and that. And I think like he's like Fury's best asset is him being able to get into people's heads, and he hasn't been able to do that. And because what White's doing, obviously not turning up for the press conferences, I sort of think he's getting into Fury's head. So maybe that's it, but it all depends who's mentally tough enough on the night. So perhaps it's going to be, I still fancy Fury, but I'm not going to write White off completely.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit like that. Maybe a little bit of like, you know, reverse psychology with White
Yeah,
not turning up.
yeah.
But
It's
do you
very
feel like, you know, for those people that have been there, supported him from day one, you know, he almost owed it to his fans to actually turn up.
yeah. I think look, he owed it to everyone. He owed it to the promotion of the fight. And it was a bit unprofessional him not turning up, but I think he's got a plan. I think he thinks if I go there, I can't let I can't let Fury get one over on me. I can't let him get him into my head because that's sort of Fury's game plan with everyone. And I think it's quite clever.
And at the moment, the heavyweight division is absolutely on fire. You know, you've got lots of Fury, you know, Joshua. What do you think about Wilder? I know, you know, he hasn't said a lot, but for me personally, I feel like if he was to come back and fight, he could become a world champion again. I know that Fury's beaten him, but arguably Fury's one of the, you know, the best fighters ever. What do you think about him if he was to come back?
He's got that he's got that crazy power, that eraser, and he can erase his mistakes. But depends. I think if he fought Joshua, I've lost you.
Oh, you're back, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. If he fought Joshua, it'd be a great fight, and I think he could beat Joshua, and then he's back. You know, he's back on the scene. So you're the thing with heavyweight boxing. You're only one win away from being back in contention, and that's probably where it stands.
Yeah, I think that, like you just said, then you know, I've seen many of fights with Wilder. He's losing every round, and it's almost like he's only got to be good for 1 second, because if he catches you, the chances are that, you know, that's game over.
Yeah, he done it to when he fought Ortiz. It was like he was losing every round, and then bang, knockout, game over. And that's, you know, that.
No, of course. Any other fights you want to see this year, mate? Or any other fighters out there that you feel like in the next sort of couple of years are really going to come into their own and become a world champ?
I feel like Conor Ben's going to become a world champ. I know it's difficult to say because obviously he's in Mikey's weight class, but I think Conor Ben's obviously the one. I think Mikey's a future world champion, of course. Who else?
I've got to ask you then, if I know both of them would go into that fight very confident, but if Mikey's next fight was against Conor Ben after he gets his other fight out of the way, how do you see that fight going at the moment? Because I'd love to see it, but how do you see it going?
It's a fight where it's whoever's got the best game plan on the night, because Conor Ben's going to turn up thinking he can blast like he has been blasting through everyone, but Mikey's not going to allow it to happen. So it depends what Conor Ben's plan B is. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I haven't seen that from Conor Ben yet. So it's a difficult one to call. Obviously, I'm always going to be rooting for Mikey.
And what's the reaction been like? Because, you know, you're from Portsmouth. What's the reaction like? Considering one of your sort of own, if you like. First, I think Mike said it was the first fighter from your area to you know, fight in America. What's the general feeling around the place?
Yeah, like Mikey's popularity is skyrocketed in the city. Like everyone loves him. Yeah, it's so good to see.
Could he sell out Fratton Park?
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. But a lot of his support is football, like the football related. So, like even at Fratton Park, everyone's talking about him. So it would definitely sell out Fratton Park.
You do find that though, don't you? You know, you do find a lot of football clubs, they always have a big section that, you know, are quite closely involved with the boxing as well.
Yeah. But Warrington, isn't it? It's the same sort of thing.
100%. Well, listen, mate, I don't want to keep you all night because I know you're sat in your car. As I said at the beginning of the interview, a little bit different from our last chat. But anything
Yeah.
else you want to add? Anything you got coming up? I know you're off to Florida. Anything about your channel? Where you going next? Anything you'd like to finish up on?
I'll just say, if you want to see us climb Everest, subscribe to the channel because that's coming up. Yeah, that's it, and just and follow our journey because we're going to carry on exploring the world. And yeah,
What is it? What 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year? A bit more? What you looking for?
10,000's the goal at the end of the year. Yeah,
mate, definitely possible, mate. I've watched your channel for a long time now, because I think I spoke to you about a couple of months before I actually got you on the channel. So I think I started watching you in October, September last year. Your views, your subscribers, you're doing incredibly well. Not surprising though, mate. Some of the content you put out is brilliant, and some of the places you go as well are just amazing, and places you visit. I love when you're doing a little bit of negotiating, buying something. That always makes me laugh.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, listen, mate, what I will do, I'll put the link in the description to your channel. So yeah, everyone watching, go and have a look. It's definitely worth a watch. And yeah, mate, it's always good to catch up every now and again, just to see where you've been and talk about your experiences.
It's nice to have a bit more of a positive chat, because last time was a bit depressing, wasn't it?
Yeah, mental health is massive, mate, and I think over the last couple of years, a lot of people have struggled, especially with the pandemic. And for you to come and talk about your story, is brave. You was very honest. And I think for people coming across you for the first time, it's nice just because people got the whole journey, rather than just seeing you traveling around the world, thinking, oh yeah, this couple are having a whale of a time. It wasn't always like that for you. So it got a lot of good feedback, that video, and it was nice to get you on, mate, to tell your story.
Yeah, I've obviously, thank you for giving me the platform to say it,
Mate, anytime, for anyone that wants to come on here. But I think we initially started following each other on social media because of our interest in boxing, and since we've been doing this, we've met and spoken to so many different people, and everyone's got their own story, and our platform is just a place where people can come on regardless of what your sport you're in. It's nice to get different people on, mate.
Yeah, you're doing a good job, mate.
Thanks very much. Hopefully I'll catch up with you at some point.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, mate. What's your plans for the rest of the evening? Just a quiet one, more packing, or videos?
No, I'm actually in the car park of of a pub because we're just eating dinner. So,
oh, mate.
So I'm going to go in.
Yeah. Well, listen, mate, sitting in the car talking to me, or being in a pub having some food and a pint, I know where I'd rather be. So I'll let you crack on, mate, and I'll probably put this video out on Monday.
Yeah, cool, mate.
All right. Well, all the best, mate. Another pint for me.
All right, mate. Speak.
Take care, mate.